Hey guys, so we're going to do a reading today. Are you guys staying cool? I got a little bit of a water bottle here. And I have to, unfortunately, if I want to make a video for you guys, I suffer for you. Okay, I want you to know because I do have, like, my apartment does not have central air. I know I should have thought about this before I moved in, but I like the management. I had lived here before and past, it was fine. But I ended up having to get some units to like go, they kind of, it's like this little tube in the window and stuff. But my air conditioner, well, it does a pretty good job. Well, tonight it's kind of sketchy. It's real hot out. I think it's I don't know what degrees is. I don't want to look because I got an article up here. But I know last time I checked it was about like 97 degrees outside still. But anyway, so I've got this, pretty good sized unit. I've got one in here, and Mini-Me's got one in her room. Because, of course, Mini-Me has to keep cool. Now, her room is real like an ice box. She's got it made because it only has to do her room. But this unit out here has to do all the area and everything. So I'm a little warm. So I don't want to be on this video for an hour. Like sometimes I get to talking. Okay. And I get to talk. But the main thing is I get to read and to get you guys messages, a spirit and the good stuff and everything. So I'm going to take on a case that a few of you have asked me about, especially with after we had the Johnny Depp Amber Heard incredibly, popular. I had a reading before that ever broke out. Everything looked good that Johnny Depp was going to be innocent. He would gain his reputation. I read on certain things. You know the drill. You saw that. If you didn't, check it out. Subscribe. Hey, I do a pretty good job doing predictions, okay? But anyway, so this case, and Marilyn Manson is a friend of Johnny Depp. Okay, they've been friends for a few years, they're very different people to me. But yet there does seem to be a common thing. They like music. They both like drugs. They like to party. They do like to party, and they got that kind of thing. And they're kind of, maybe they're a little bit of tortured souls, but they also have issues in similarity with accusations of we'll say, various abuses, and most notably the actress Evan Rachel Wood. Now, there's some similarities, and then there's some slight differences with these two cases. For instance, Evan Rachel Wood, unlike Amber Heard, she was a pretty established actress, even at the very young age of 18 when she started dating Marilyn Manson. Okay, so she was very young. Yeah, and you got to remember, this is 18. Think about yourself when you were 18. And imagine if you were, dating, this guy. And he was, I believe he was about maybe 37 at the time. He was quite a bit older. He's famous, he's popular, and, this... And just kind of in my assessment, please forgive me, if I sound a little stereotypical. Okay, just forgive me if I do, but just, things I've observed over the years, and maybe I've done it a little bit too in the past. It's real easy for, young ladies at times to be attracted to bad boys. Okay, it's just there's something appealing about it. There's something appealing. I feel for especially young woman to make a bad boy kind of fall in love and maybe even show a soft side. There's just something about it. There's something about it. Maybe it goes back to even James Dean, Rebel Without a Cause. He's a bad boy. Now he was attractive. Oh, he was attractive. James Dean, I'm sorry, my heart. What an amazing, very tragic. We lost him too soon. What we could have seen of that young man would have been amazing. But you get the gist. And even if we look back, even look back to the movie of the 70s, Grease. Remember how popular that is? And everything, the bad guys, and everything, and the pink ladies and all, how they can be drawn and how that all works out. Just kind of fun stuff. And so anyway, just there's something about, there is an appeal sometimes for women to be drawn to bad boys. There's something about wanting to, I don't know if it's necessarily tame them, but if they could get them to love them, I don't know. There's just something about it. There's this empath thing in there, being drawn to this troubled soul who's this, this tragic figure and everything. It's just something about it. Just something about it. So anyway, I feel that might have been a little bit of the appeal. That's just my feel and assessment. For her maybe to be drawn in. She's kind of she looks like just a when you look at her in movies as a young girl, just kind of very ordinary. Next door. What do you call it? Girl next door. Kind of person. Talented actress. She's a good actress and everything. So there's a lot there, but there's a difference. She had been acting for some time, where Amber Heard was just barely like scratching the surface. So she made a little bit of a name for herself. She'd been acting since a child. Her parents had got her into it. So this is a little bit of a different situation. But yeah, that's a little bit of my feel. Is I think there was a bad boy. A bad boy kind of thing there, to be drawn to this. So, but there is a documentary on HBO Max or HBO, whichever you've got, pick your poison. And it's called Phoenix Rising. So before I looked at the case, now I knew nothing. And I have not made up my mind. I don't know. I don't know yet. Is she telling the truth? Is he telling the truth? There's a lot up here, but I love it when I'm in this position. I love it when I'm in this position, because when I'm not sure and I'm still just kind of weighing in, the info is just coming at me and I haven't sat down yet and started my thing. Okay, my thing, when I get in my zone and stuff, because after this, I will probably have a feel. Okay, I will probably have a feel, unless, maybe I won't. But normally I do. That's why you tuned in. But I like it when I'm here. Just like even before Johnny Depp and Amber Heard, I hadn't seen the trial yet. I saw a few things, listened to a few audios. I wasn't totally making up my mind yet. Okay, and there was photos of her, there was bits and pieces, and I knew and everybody's views were different, but once that trial got going, you saw what happened, right? We all saw that with our own two eyes. But when I hit that first read, I pretty much knew that Spirit was saying he's innocent. I'm going to see if this happens too. Okay, but this another thing that is different, okay, than the Johnny Depp Amber Heard. Like I said, there does seem to be a soulmate connection with Johnny Depp and Marilyn Manson. Definitely, there's a soul brother connection there. Okay, but Marilyn Manson has other accusers. Okay, so this is where Johnny Depp, Amber Heard is the only one, at least so far, the only one who has stepped forward and said anything happened. And a matter of fact, other women he had been with, and he wasn't with, he had women, but it doesn't look like, for being Johnny Depp, he had woman after woman after woman after woman. He had quite a few. And Marilyn Manson had quite a few. Johnny Depp, like 14 years with it, he would carry on his relationships for a good amount of time. Whoops, I didn't mean to do that. What am I doing? I don't want to lose something. Okay. So, there's others that have come forward. And also in this documentary, Phoenix Rising, which Evan Rachel Wood, that's a mouthful to say. When she, has her documentary, she talks about certain things that have happened. And then other people, other women are sitting there that had dated him and are saying things. Now, even I think his former assistant is also, there's issues. He is making accusations. There's a lot on the table with this. So this is very challenging. This is a hard one. And stuff, because when more than one steps forward, we got to pay attention, right? But still, there is some things. Now, there is a YouTuber. I want to be fair. If anybody is wanting to kind of read up and assess. Some people like that. They like to, I don't know, and they like to, go down that rabbit hole and dig. There is a YouTuber lady. Her name is Colonel Kurtz, who pretty much is on the Marilyn Manson team, as far as feels that he is being, accused, and there she's not trusting Evan Rachel Wood's story. So she's got some tidbits, and I was listening to a little bit with her. But she's not a psychic, technically. I'm not trying to downplay. But she is doing kind of her own, homework to the best of her ability with what limited knowledge that we have. It's always real difficult for anybody when you're trying to weigh who's telling the truth, when accusations are flying. It can be hard to sort out and everything. But Tarot does a good job of kind of sorting out the characters. So let's talk about this defamation. What this is basically a defamation suit. Now, apparently there has been some lawsuits brought against Marilyn Manson, but it looks like over, I believe this year, some have been thrown out. There were some things dismissed. Maybe there wasn't enough evidence, or whatever it may be. There's been some things, but let's talk about what he is suing her for. It is a defamation. So see, here we go, Soul Brothers, okay, Johnny Depp and Marilyn Manson, and they both have defamations against, but are they both innocent? That would, that would be interesting. It would be very interesting, because Marilyn Manson is a very different kind of character, okay? So this is from The Guardian, which is pretty reputable for me, article. So let's kind of check it out. Hopefully we can unpack some of this. So Marilyn Manson files defamation suit against sexual abuse accuser Evan Rachel Wood. Now, I do want to say their dating went back years. Hopefully this article will say this goes way back, early 2000s. That they had dated and so forth. And she didn't say anything for a while. Then she kind of slowly started saying things on Twitter without naming him. Speaking, I believe she spoke in front of Congress. When the Me Too movement was really at its height. She was speaking on things, and she's been very vocal in the Me Too movement. Then, just not very long ago, she named him. A lot of people were wondering, is she ever going to name him? Is she talking about him? People were kind of on the edge, and then she inevitably did. And she does it on a Twitter, which I don't know. Just, humor me here for a minute. Is it just these revelations on a Twitter so crude? It just to... I don't know. I'm not a fan of the platform. I do not have an account. I opened an account many years ago when it first started. I maybe did a couple little things, maybe did some Buddha quotes here or there, and then I just stopped. I just, it wasn't for me. Went back into it around the time Trump was on, and I kind of logged in for a little bit, looked around. I just kind of looked around, and I went, I don't like this. The energy here. I didn't like the energy of Twitter. Is it me? I just don't care for it. Well, apparently there's a lot of spam bots. So there's a lot of fake stuff. Just like one of my friends did a post. Somebody did a tweet or something that, hey, when they started eliminating spam bots, I had 50,000 followers. And he said, I have 90 now because they were all spam bots. All these people I was talking to along were real. Can you imagine that? And maybe that's why I just said, no, I don't want to be here, because these people weren't real. They weren't real. You imagine you've had conversations, this person's my, a chat with them and everything. I mean, they'll even message you and say things. Spam bots, none of them are real. See, this is the world we live in. So, sometimes when you think I don't, maybe it's why I keep my friends list small on Facebook. I have only 300. It's an even 300. I keep it small. People I know are real. People that I feel I could call friends. I don't just have, and then I have a business page where whoever joins is, so be it. But yeah, when I kind of look at that, it's just, Twitter is just so, so yes. So I just want to say there that to maybe come up with this declaration and the announcement on a Twitter, okay, that this is the essay, the one she's been talking about, and announcing it just seems kind of a little crude and, a very gossipy, and just a very toxic environment. I just find Twitter a very toxic environment. I guess I do agree a little bit with Jordan Peterson. He just put up if you watch my video, you'll see what I mean. He just did a video saying why Twitter is insane, and he was talking about it. And it's a very, I know it's supposed to be the town square of, social media, but it's a lot of, fakeness and BS and people saying things they probably wouldn't, out in public. And I want no part of it. At least, if you go on YouTube, if you're watching me, I'm a person, I'm going to show some emotion, feel, but just over there, anyway, so let's get to it. I could go on all day about, technology and how we need to, have social, and good solid connections, or we're going to become more disconnected and isolated, and the problems that it's doing to people, as a humanity. We are social creatures. We got to have some kind of connection. Okay, we came here to connect. Now, let's go. Marilyn Manson has filed a lawsuit against Evan Rachel Wood for defamation. over the actor's SA allegations against him. It's a little more than that, though. We'll get to that. Manson, the American shock rocker born Brian Warder, he's actually my age, 53, just so you know, filed the complaint in Los Angeles Superior Court on Wednesday. No, this was back March 2nd of this year. And the complaint accuses Wood and her on-again, off-again partner, Ashley Ilma Gore. Okay, so there's a partner that if you watch Phoenix Rising, if you bother, she's, kind of her partner, of depicting him as a rapist and an abuser and malicious falsehood that has derailed Warner's successful music, TV, and film career. Now, apparently he was dropped from his label, okay, over some, lost some TV things. So, he, yes. Representatives for Wood and Gore did not respond to requests for comment from the deadline, which first reported the lawsuit. Wood and Gore appear in Phoenix Rising. There it is. A new documentary about Wood's life and career that is scheduled to premiere on HBO this month. So it's been out for a few months, guys. It also details Wood's allegations against Manson. So I'm a little late here, but I'm before the trial. That's the main thing, right? In the documentary, Wood said that during a previously discussed simulated sex scene, this is for like a video he did for the music video, Manson's 2007 single Heart-Shaped Glasses, Manson started penetrating me for real, and that she had never agreed to that. Now, Colonel Kurtz, I do want to give, just to give an objective, she did make mention that, because this is one of the allegations, there's many different allegations of, the story and abuse. And I'm not there yet saying whether it did or did not happen, where there was an actual, thing, but, on the making of this video. But, she did kind of make a point, there had to be many witnesses around why, what about all these people would be seeing this filming and stuff like that. Just saying, there's a point made there. Wood said she was given absinthe on set. I don't even know what drugs are, so which affected her ability to refuse Manson's alleged actions. Warder has denied. Warder is Manson. Just if you hear me say Warder, raping Wood on the set of the music video, making a video. In Wednesday's filing, let me turn this because Mini-Me does not like to be on camera. In Wednesday's filing, Manson accused Wood and Gore of falsifying and spreading allegations against him. Now, this is a big one. He claims they, Evan and this other person, he claims they pretended to be an FBI agent by forging and distributing a fictitious letter from the agent to create the false appearance that Manson was under a federal criminal investigation. So apparently this letter went out to maybe some other women to try to gather them up and things like that. But yeah, here it is. Manson alleges that Wood and Gore provided checklists and scripts to prospective accusers, listing the specific alleged acts of abuse that they should claim against Warder. Now, I did see this. Was it Popcorn Planet? I got a glimpse of it, and actually Colonel Kurtz was on the one I looked at. So she's really going to task on this one. She's really involved. But they did show it was like this checklist asking, whoever they're sending this, I guess email, letter, whatever, to these women about certain things. Did this happen? This happened. This happened. Various. Were you tied up? Were you, just a various kind of questions. Okay. So, that would be very sketchy. One, that's illegal. But that would be very sketchy to send this out to people and pretend to be, an FBI agent to try to get information from other people, and then you could say, oh, look, so-and-so said this, so-and-so said that. That would be sketchy. We're going to look at that. That's an important, very important part of this defamation. Okay, yep, accuses Gore of, the suit accuses Gore of trying to obtain Manson's login information to his computer, phone, and email, and claims that she created a fake email address to claim that Manson was sending porno to contacts. So there apparently is maybe some possible that they were trying to hack him. Okay, in addition to requesting, and they may have actually got in addition to requesting a jury trial, Manson has accused Wood of inflicting emotional distress, violation of the Comprehensive Computer Data and Access Fraud Act, and impersonating over the internet, obviously, FBI. In a statement, Howard King, Manson's attorney, says, even though HBO and the producers have been made aware of these serious acts of misconduct, they have thus far chosen to proceed without regard for the facts. But the evidence of wrongdoing by Wood and Gore is irrefutable, and this legal action will hold them to account. So they could potentially go after HBO later. I'm not sure. So that's pretty much what is going on. So this is, oh, Minnie went back in. Okay. So, this is pretty much what the defamation has to do with. So, talk about, the certain allegations, impersonating an FBI. Okay, we're going to look at that. We're going to, no matter what fact check, was there abuse? So let's just put it this way. If I was assessing this case, say there is abuse, okay, there could be a couple wrongs there. One, maybe they could side with Evan that they believe that she had suffered. But if if they can prove that she's behind this impersonating an FBI agent, okay, to try to get women, and story and facts and use and all that stuff, that's heavy stuff, okay, and proving that, and also trying to get into his accounts and everything. And I think they might have actually been able to do that. Let me see if there's any other articles that could be useful. Hold on, if I could. Okay, there we go. But yeah, no, this is so that's one of the things I'm going to look at. Definitely, what we want to look here. Did she do that? Is this? And okay, here's one on Billboard. Let's go. So that's obviously the music one. So. And here's a little bit what she said. I believe this. Okay, this I believe is the tweet, if I'm correct. Oh no, it was on Instagram. Oh, maybe it was on Instagram. I'm sorry. Okay, but no, I think she put it on Twitter too. Anyway, it's okay. I'm here to expose this dangerous man and call out the many industries that have enabled him before he ruins any more lives. I stand with the many victims who will no longer be silent. She shared via Instagram on February 1. Wood and Manson had a relationship when the actress was 18 and Manson was 36. Okay, so 36. And the pair were briefly engaged in 2010. Manson denied the allegations in his own Instagram statement. He says, obviously, my art and my life have long been magnets for controversy, but these recent claims about me are horrible distortions of reality. He wrote, my intimate relationships have always been entirely consensual with like-minded partners, regardless of how and why others are now choosing to misinterpret the past, and this is the truth. Okay, so this is a little bit. Now, I'll tell you, this is one of the first things I did when I first wanted to look at this before I was going to read or look at any article or read. I guess just something is just what I wanted to look at. And what I did, I just kind of plugged in Rose McGowan and Marilyn Manson. If some of you guys remember her, she is from Charmed. She is also very big, outspoken in the Me Too movement. Okay, and she had her run-in with Harvey Weinstein, the scum. Okay, so she dated Marilyn Manson. I believe they were engaged for a little bit, and I was curious what she had to say. Now, she did acknowledge that he had never, like the things that Evan Rachel Wood is saying, she did not experience. Apparently her reasons for leaving him were mainly just kind of the drugs and this, that. But as far as, abuse like of this magnitude, she did say that she did not go through it. And matter of fact, let me see if I can find the video. That will probably make it a little bit easier so you know what I'm talking about. Maybe just listen to her, what she said. But I was just very curious. Something told me, look at what she said. So I got to take note on a couple of things, and I'll let you listen to it. Hopefully I can find it again. She does say she did not experience this, but she does also, as she is very much Me Too, she does side with Evan Rachel. She does believe her. And probably because so many other women are coming out. And she's very upset about it. So let me go. Here we go. Let me see if I can find it. And this, I believe she put this. Let me see. Oh, can I find it? Where? Oh, man. If I can't find it, I'm going to be bummed. But yeah, she was with him for a long time. But Rose McGowan was, okay, hold on. Let's do this. Rose McGowan speaks out on Marilyn Manson case. There she
Showing
is.
results for
There
Rose
she is.
McGowan speaks out on Marilyn.
And disgusted. But I am mostly proud. Proud of Evan Rachel Wood and the others who've come forward against Marilyn Manson, my ex. When he was with me, he was not like that, but that has no bearing on whether he was like that with others before or after. It takes time to come forward. And again, I am proud of these women and anybody who stands against an abuser. They steal time. These are time eaters. They steal lives. They steal hopes, dreams, freedom, sexuality, love. And I'm also here to say to the Hollywood cult leaders that have employed him and sanctioned him, and Interscope Records and Sony was with him during the Evan period. You know you are accomplices. All the PR managers, agents, lawyers, the Hollywood cult must be stopped.
Okay. Only a minute long. Very powerful. Very powerful. So I look at a couple things, Rose McGowan. I had, and see, that's why something told me before I looked at any YouTube, read an article, something said, look her up first. I need to hear something she has to say. Just I go with spirit. She did say he was not like that with me. I did not experience that. She pretty much said that. You heard her. That was not her experience, but she is also, she's also refusing to say that's not true because it wasn't my experience. So she's not doing that. And for whatever reason, maybe she watched a documentary or heard certain things. She is feeling okay. And then there's a whole lot, like I said, the Hollywood cult and there is a whole lot to say about that. There are cases, just like the Catholic Church tries to cover up the dirty popes, I'm sure Hollywood is trying to cover up dirty people too. Okay, absolutely. Absolutely. But then funny, then they want to throw innocent people under the bus like Johnny Depp. Okay, the craziness, and what happens, because it makes a buck, it sells papers. It sells papers, okay? So it's, and don't get me started about Michael Jackson. And don't get me started. Yes, I do believe he was innocent. I read it years ago. I do believe he's innocent. And it's just, gosh, so much wrong with that one too. One day maybe I'll do a video and I'll flip cards just to show you guys. Just let the cards speak themselves so you see them for yourself. Okay, but I do not believe that Michael Jackson would hurt a fly. And he just, I really just feel he was very childlike. Okay, and he was kind of like a child in a man's body, and he just, he was like Peter Pan. And, if he was a child, he has no interest in, okay, he didn't trust adults. And who could blame him? He was surrounded by, some sketchy people all his life, including his own father. And so he didn't trust adults. But children, were innocent and they never meant him any harm. And so I believe that's why he liked to surround himself with children. That's just me. That's just me. And I just don't, certain things when I read on it, I was like, no, I don't feel he's guilty. Okay, but this one, it's hard. And so see, it's kind of like I'm also glad I listened to her because I've got a couple things there that are still very open for me. One, it never happened to her. She's saying, I didn't go through this. He didn't do it to me, but I'm not necessarily saying it didn't happen to you. I'm not, she's not going to step in there. She's not going to be that because she knows at the same time, what she even went through with certain things with Harvey Weinstein, and she's seen the ugliness of Hollywood. She's got to be exasperated with it. But the poor woman's been through enough and everything. So there's a whole lot there. So let's go ahead and get to it. And now that I've kind of prepped you guys to get a little bit of idea what's going on. And like I said, I could get into all, I'm not going to get into all the accusations. All the sordid details are in the documentary. We pretty much know that Evan is, she is claimed to have been groomed, and there's various strange things. There is some disturbing things in there. Like I believe when she left him, he was sending lots of texts. He was, cutting himself. There was weird stuff. Okay, he's a bizarre character. Let's face it. You gotta be, it'd be like this. But let's go ahead and check it out. And we're also gonna kind of feel out, could he win his defamation suit? I didn't see anything as far as a dollar figure at the moment, or if he's suing exactly for a dollar figure. Actually, let me pull that. How much is Marilyn Manson suing Evan for the defamation suit? Yeah, I'm not necessarily seeing a dollar figure yet. Maybe it's too soon. I'm not. Yeah, so far just defamation, but maybe he's going to leave it open to a jury. I am not sure. But so far, I'm not seeing a dollar figure. But yeah, she's ever since, just the last few years, she's been getting on talk shows. She's definitely been talking to a lot of people. And it's, very, very outspoken about things and stuff. And, yep, let's check it out. Let's see what's going on. Okay, I'm very curious about this. At first I didn't want to read it because I'm just, like I said, I'm just not a fan. And I'm like, he's kind of dark. He's kind of dark, but I did get asked about it. And I just, Spirit's like, what, let's just read it. But you know what? Never judge a book by its cover. Okay, for example, I'm from Arizona and Alice Cooper lives there. Very well known. And if we remember back in the day, he did that whole, try to be, creepy, and all that. But he's actually a really good guy. And he's just a pillar in the community in Arizona. And I actually saw him once in the mall many years ago when I was young. And he's a little guy. He's not even very big. He's shorty. And he's a little skinny one. And he was walking through the mall with a real pretty blonde. And everybody's going, "Who is Alice Cooper?" And everybody's all excited and everything. But he's just a pillar of the community. And, he golfs. He's just a normal guy. And, he's, it was an act. Definitely everything was an act with Alice Cooper. Okay. But he's, Manson's he takes a little step further. He's real creepy, stuff. I sometimes, I don't think he's totally, I know quite a bit of it's an act and it's a shock, trying to shock, and it, he has his fans. But yeah, Alice Cooper was definitely, it was an act, sure. But he's a pretty good man. God, I wonder how old the guy is now. He's got to be in his 70s now or something. Okay, let's tune in. God, maybe I should have got the shadow deck for this one. Where is it? I don't even know where it is. No, that's okay. I don't know. But Thoth is so good for, lawsuits. It's just so good for me. Okay, so let's kind of see, are we innocent? Who's telling the truth? Very curious. I have no clue what I'm going to get. And I'm telling you, I'm burning up. It feels like hell in here. Maybe it needs to feel like hell if I'm going to read Marilyn Manson. Okay, let's kind of go ahead and see here. So we got the very first card is the Princess of Wands. So that makes me feel, Evan, what is her date of birth? I'm curious if this matches the sign. Evan Rachel Wood's birthday. Just curious. Sometimes I get curious if I'm right on the sign. September 7th. Nope.
Evan Rachel Wood, September 7th,
isn't that Virgo? September 7th is Virgo. Is September 7th birthday Virgo? Yes.
Astrology zodiac sign.
Thought so. Sometimes I gotta check myself. Okay, but yes, okay, so let's stop. So Princess of Wands, one of the things can be, definitely the fire sign, can be very creative. I can see that definitely with anybody who is an actress. Passionate, creative, the fire, and even if you look at celebrity charts, if you ever examine them, they may not always be a fire sign, but look at their chart where the fire is. There will be some pretty strong fire. Just like even Marilyn Monroe, she was a Gemini. It's kind of funny because he calls them Marilyn Manson. Apparently that is related to Marilyn Monroe and Charles Manson. But anyway, she was a Leo rising. So there's definitely that, look at the rising sign, the ascendance, the fire. It's a very big thing. But that creative, passionate, but also even that Princess of Wands energy, remember what I talked about, can be a little rebellious. Okay, hey, I like the bad boys. And maybe, that's, one of the things about, kind of maybe, maybe Hollywood or even parents want to mold and shape her kind of like a good girl. And sometimes, kind of break it out and being rebellious, definitely could be that. So I definitely get this kind of, rebellious, and I definitely feel she explored her shadow side. Definitely there was, drug use and various things with her. And I'll tell you, I mean, she apparently back then when she was young, she got a lot of flack. She got picked on. I know that Perez Hilton, he's a scumbag. That, the gossip one, he got in trouble with some other things a long time ago. But he would call her the W whole, name, and just say various horrible things about her. So just, for being there, and just, she definitely got heavily judged, for being in this relationship. There were some real ugly things said. But for whatever reason, very passionate, young, think of her as a young person, coming up and then starts dating this older man who is this bad boy, and everything. So let's kind of look at what is the, this card just stuck out. Remember, when anything flies out, that spirit going, grab me. And so, and there we go. Yep, that the opposing. We got the Hierophant. So the Hierophant, just like, we've got this, the morals and the values and the goodness and everything, see, you can see this opposition, so I definitely feel this when I kind of tuned into her spirit, especially that time at that young age. Maybe people try to mold and shape her, kind of this good girl and everything, and maybe that's not necessarily who she felt she was on the inside. There's a little rebellion there. Okay, and just like even I talk about the devil is a shadow of the Hierophant, it really is. They're always seated similar. Their hand gestures, everything. They both yoke the lovers together in unique ways, a little bit different from each other. So we definitely, kind of, having maybe her own kind of rebellion and kind of going into a shadow period is definitely there for whatever reasons. Maybe we would have to do a whole psychological examination to get there. But there's definitely something in there. I will kind of acknowledge that even that brought the two together, they're both troubled souls. Let's put it that way. They're both really troubled souls, and a lot of this, and we may even see the Justice card come up, not necessarily for the court case, but in the sense that these are karmic relationship people. Very often what I have tried to express to people when I do readings, especially relationships, which is probably the cornerstone of a lot of what I do because it's my most requested thing, is karmic relationships. I like to explain it like this. It is not that spirit puts certain people in your path to hurt you or, do damage or anything like that. I really don't feel spirit is all involved in this, though sure, everything is spirit. I could also say that as well as a spiritualist. But what it normally is this person has wounds, and this person has wounds, and it's really their wounding, okay, and those troubling aspects that gravitate themselves to each other. Something in their wounding is what brings them together. That's really, and what the karmic relationship is and a lot of people, and there are other readers that will mess with you and mistake it, that, oh, you did something bad in a past life, so this person was meant to hurt you. That's a karmic. That is not a karmic relationship. That is a bunch of hokey doke. Throw it out the window. Don't even believe that. We could never get off the karmic wheel. Spirit's not going to put us in these positions. Okay, let's sit down with the spirit guide and go through a plan. Okay, well, since this person wronged you, you get to come back in this life and you get to hurt them. Bullshit. I call shenanigans on all that. What it is, though, is as we kind of come together as a couple of wounded souls, okay, we're going to kind of bounce off each other, and if things go well, maybe we can work and help each other heal, and maybe get to where we could be in some kind of constructive relationship. There's always going to be a potential. I know this seems like a real doomed relationship, but there's always a potential there. There is a core there, especially to become aware, especially of the wounding that exists that a person may not necessarily been aware of. Okay, so this is another thing. It's like magnets. These people will come together. Okay, so this is probably what I'm dealing with, and I'm not done yet. I'm just getting started, getting my feels, but I'm pretty sure this is what I'm dealing with Evan and with Marilyn Manson. Should I call him Brian or should I call him Marilyn? Okay, in this sense, if I'm getting into his soul, let's just call him Brian. Okay, in their kind of troubledness coming together. But yes, sometimes, if they work together and they can evolve, wonderful. But if they're, attack and hurt each other, it can end up being a hurt people, and it can be very dangerous, disaster, horrible situation. Okay, so if you ever go to a reader, and hopefully they will, identify it like I do, and not this gobbledygook that people throw at people about karmic relationships. If you are ever told you are in something like that, that is part of what is happening, that is your dynamic, hopefully, this will be a time to kind of step back. What kind of areas is this relationship bringing to the surface? Okay, that I maybe was not 100% aware of. What is it kind of triggering that it is bringing out of me that now that I'm aware of it, I need to face? Okay, I see. And if we could face it and get it together and everything, maybe, if the other person, will they figure their stuff out? That's really not your problem. At a certain point, that would be great if they can, and you could help them, but you can't save them. Only save yourself at this point. And that's pretty much what maybe she or maybe even he had to do, is save themselves. Okay, so a little bit just kind of my feels. So let's kind of look at the foundation. This is what we really want to get at. So I definitely get this rebellion. I'm in a young age, and here comes this, and here's my bad boy. Okay. I said, yep, and see, there is love there. There is the Ace of Cups. So that is a very important card to have there. Because really, when I look at the Ace of Cups, it's not just one. It's normally both people feel this. So this does make me feel there was some kind of love there. It's not all straight. No, like I said, I'm not done yet and everything. But this, if the Ace of Cups is there, this makes me feel that they both had love for each other, which then makes me feel maybe he's not so as much narcissistic as she could be portraying him. Maybe that's not necessarily his bag. Okay, people can be abusive without being a narcissist. Okay, this tells me he has feelings and emotions. Okay, yes, I'm sure he's a little mixed up. Okay, but there is love there. So this makes me feel these two people did love each other at one time when push comes to shove. Now, it's obviously, like I said, I'm feeling a karmic relationship. I'm feeling drama. I'm feeling difficulty. But I'm definitely feeling that there is emotion on both sides for each other. Okay, Ace of Cups does not lie. Okay, and now let's go ahead and look. Yep, Knight of Cups, and they were engaged. He did propose marriage. This is very interesting. So this card for let's just say Brian, Marilyn Manson, whatever, for him is very interesting. So this kind of makes me feel in the beginning, him showing a sensitive side. With the Knight of Cups showing here, this is not a narcissist. But a couple things here. I want to, let me pull up for a minute here. I like to really explain the Knight of Cups is a very important one, because like I said, I'm not done yet. We got to see how this evolves. Obviously, things went dark, right? And there was some darkness there. Knight of Cups, that's not going to be, like I said, it's not going to be a narcissist. That's just the way it is. And so I know he's got his makeup and his Satanism and all that shit. Okay, but I got to look at, he's offering the cup. Okay, there is this, and there was an engagement. This could be my proposal of marriage. Okay, but this is one of the difficult side of the Knight of Cups is this. When the romance is there, when the love and all that stuff and the feel goods are there, they can be very charming, great. But when life steps in, when things get hard, when things get challenging, very often they may flee, and stuff. And very, very often they may get out of Dodge, they may flee, they could get real disenchanted. But of course, I'm sure his idea of romance may be different than your idea of romance, I can only imagine. But, the Knight of Cups is there. That shows me that this person is not a narcissist. It's sitting next to the Ace of Cups in the sense that I do definitely feel there was some love for Rachel at one time. It's evident. It's right there. Like I said, it doesn't mean it stayed there. I'm not saying there is no abuse. I'm not done. But there does seem to be some genuineness there. Okay, so let's kind of go ahead and look. But yes, the Knight of Cups can be a little flighty. When the good, likes the good times. But when real life gets in the way, they don't always want to stick around. Now, some cards fell. I always got to pay attention to that. Hang on. Oh, there you go. There you go. Hold on a minute. Because a card that flipped upright, I'm going to show you in a minute. Here we go. Here we go, mama. Okay. This is the way the card flipped upright. This is the one Spirit wants to look at. This is the Ruin card. Okay. So that one on the floor was like this. Spirit is funny. And this is kind of where we're at right now. This is where we're at right now. Of course, a lot of the ruin, one of the things kind of dealing with is kind of going after, Marilyn Manson. We've got, it looks like this defamation and all this stuff and everything, this kind of stabbed in the back. So he definitely feels stabbed in the back with the various things that are happening. Are they warranted, though? Should he be stabbed in the back? Should she be coming out? Is she telling the truth and everything? Let's kind of look at that. Now, I'm putting that over there, but I still need to put something on top of all this stuff. Okay, so we've got the Four of Cups energy. Okay, now we've got some interesting things here. Remember, we got the offering of the cup, the offering of the cup. Now, I've got clearly a male offering the cup, but the Four of Cups is about pushing away the cup, pushing away the cup. What's happening here? What's happening here? So this actually makes me feel something different here in the dynamic. Very often, it's a male seated in the Four of Cups, pushing away the cup. I actually feel that's him. And I know you're going to say, but he's offering the cup. He's up. This comes later. Remember what I said? The Knight of Cups gets a little flighty, okay? Something kind of happens in the dynamic of the relationship, because I don't feel she was pushing away his love. Okay, now, of course, inevitably there's a breakup. Okay, there's a breakup. But there does seem to be some kind of a dynamic. I feel actually a little bit both of them kind of did this. Actually, I'm going to step back. I always feel a little bit. I feel kind of further in. There could be moments where she's kind of offering love and he's just kind of ignored, pushing away, not feeling. But then, of course, if she pulls away with certain things, like when she left him and things, now he's offering that cup, offering that cup. So this the love and the heart is really, it's a very tricky dynamic that these two people really have. A very push-pull with being in love, or almost a love-hate kind of energy there. Okay, definitely there is some challenges, but I do feel, there's a lot of tragedy and there's, a lot of sadness here, but there's definitely this pulling and pushing away with the cup. But I actually feel a little bit of both, just a little bit of both and everything, especially when I feel definitely her spirit can feel very overwhelmed, with certain things going on. So let's kind of go ahead and look at that. But I do feel that the Ten of Swords is him, the way he feels. Hence why we got a lawsuit here. Let's kind of go ahead. Yep. And here we got the Five of Pentacles here. This is the Five of Pentacles can be, loss and everything. That is the worry card. But that can also be put out in the cold kind of energy as well. It's so many things. So let's kind of go ahead and tune in. Who is this one for? Hold on. I mean, God, are they both worried even? And interesting, yeah, it's an inverted pentagram. Of course, Marilyn Manson. Okay. So, yeah, this, it's a couple things. I feel there's definitely some with her, definitely, I definitely feel after the relationship breakup, when she finally gets away, she definitely feels isolated and alone. I do acknowledge there's definitely some kind of trauma that she has suffered, in this relationship, that made her, kind of cast the outside, maybe afraid to speak up and things like that. There's definitely that. And now certain things coming up, definitely got him worried even about his finances. But at the same time, this does not feel simple. In a sense, let me put it this way. I don't feel this is just simply a case of the bad guy and the good girl. And it not totally. And I'm not trying to blame, point finger, all that stuff. But I feel, they're both a little toxic, and there's some drama on both sides. There's some things that are problematic in the whole area. Just like I said, and we're gonna look at that. Impersonating the FBI. That's not cool. Okay, certain things. But let's kind of go ahead and look at that and stuff, what we got going on. But yeah, like I said, let me step back just to reiterate here. I do actually feel these two people did love each other. Whatever they want to call love, they called love. Okay, let's put it that way. Okay, but there's definitely some love and affection. And I'm not getting a full-blown narcissist, which I'm a little surprised. Like I said, though, I always try to go in open-minded. You never know what you're going to get. That is so important as a reader to not make up your mind before you do this. But I definitely feel, I'm not getting necessarily a narcissist vibe, but I definitely feel two very troubled souls. Okay, two very troubled souls. Oh yeah, hands down. Of course he's a troubled soul. Yep, and then we've got that Prince of Disc energy. You know what? I am curious because he is my age. Let me look at his birthday. What is he? Oh, my phone's about to go. Hold on. Marilyn Manson's birthday. Yep, he is a Capricorn. Damn it, I knew it. I had a feeling he was a Capricorn. And the reason why is the Capricorn in the Devil card. Though this is a Taurus. But I just had a feeling he was Capricorn. Because the Capricorn, it just... There's, like I said, Capricorn and the Devil. It's just, they're just... they go hand in hand. But yes, the Prince of Discs, okay, that's definitely him. That is an Earth sign, though. I know this has the Taurus symbol, but this is still an Earth. Okay, so close enough for it. We've got his card and everything. But I feel some of that, with that bull is kind of showing maybe there's a little bit of a temper there. But yeah, he was born, he's born 3 days before I am. That's crazy, man. But I've also got that strength card is popping up next to him. He still managed to kind of build something for himself, with all that he became and stuff. Let's see. Now, the Six of Cups energy, that is the pleasure card. And the Six of Cups can be past and nostalgia. So that can also make me feel these people, they still had good times. I don't feel this is all bad. This is all bad. I still feel they had some good times there. Okay, so there's still some things. But what is going, the stab in the back, what happened? Is there anything? But yes, change. The change card pops up in here. Everything is changing at the crown, like coming forward, stepping forward, and all that thing. There's, a lot of stuff. And even, I guess I would have to also pull back and say not only things coming to surface, but things change to the relationship. Okay, so let's acknowledge that. What we got? Okay, Ace of Swords. Ace of Swords, that is the sword of truth. For those who follow me, you are aware of that. Who is telling the truth? That is the big one. That is the big one. Okay, so we've got the Prince of Cups energy there. There's also that Prince of Cups and stuff. So let me, hold on 1 second. Got that. And then we've got that Hangman energy there. Everything's kind of hung up in the moment and suspended. But also this card is also about perception. Everybody's got an angle on perception. That also tells me Spirit is kind of saying we got to look at certain different angles. It's not a black and white case and everything and stuff. And also the Prince of Cups definitely can be also coming into emotion, feeling like there's a lot of water in this read, actually, guys. There's a lot of water and emotion in this read. But I do feel, one of the things I do feel the truth will come out, definitely with the Ace of Swords energy. But so far, let's kind of look at here. Yeah, certain things this case will get completed, kind of tuning in there with the Four of Wands. Okay, so let's go ahead. Yep. Okay, so I've got the failure card kind of popping up in here. Okay, so a couple things. This is actually in Marilyn Manson's position. A little bit concerning there in the sense that being able to successfully get through the whole defamation against her, being able to prove it, this is going to be very difficult. And I feel one of the things is, like I said, she's got other women that are stepping forward. So I actually feel it's going to be a challenge. I will read it again later along the way, but I do got that failure card in the sense that him being able to prove a defamation totally is going to be very hard. Let me go ahead and look at the cards in her position. The Knight of Swords, she's been kind of going out. This is all futile for everybody. Oh, this is futile for everybody. Okay, so several things. In her position is the Knight of Swords energy. That can be also just kind of throwing out your words, blurting out things and that. But I've also got the Seven of Swords, couple things there. That could be the betrayal card. Okay, that could be the sneaky card. Okay, so that is answering the question for me that I do believe she falsified this FBI thing. Okay, so I am on board some of this stabbing in the back in the sense that she was sketchy, that this FBI thing is her doing. Okay, so that part, but like I said, I believe the failure energy, actually, unless, let me just give a caveat, it could be also him trying to be able to prove loss of income with the failure card. Let me just give a caveat and step back. That could be it. I'm not done yet. I'll correct myself if I figure that out, because she is getting the futility card, showing this sense. A lot of times the Seven of Swords for me can be an exposure, and the evidence does show and reveal the sketchiness and the betrayal. Okay, so and also futile in her efforts. Okay, so this is a very dangerous game here. Let's see, hopes and fears and everything. The Fool, and let's go ahead. What is the outcome there? Okay, so the outcome is the High Priestess. So a lot of secrets coming out. Secrets will be revealed. I do take note of that. A lot of this. Hopefully I can, oh, if Spirit will let me uncover it. Okay, and stuff. And then we've got that Emperor energy coming out. So that could actually make me feel the law and the law enforcement in certain things. You know, and also this is the God of War. And all that kind of stuff. Yep, we're going to go to war. Oh, this has got, and the Lovers. You know, it ends with the Lovers here. This is going to be a hard case to predict. This is a hard one for me. So, yeah, I do actually believe with the completion, everything, it will be finalized. A couple things. Now, the failure card, I'm going to just kind of, in the sense, it might not necessarily believe he loses. I'm stepping back from that. It could be either a couple things. Maybe he doesn't get a whole lot of the defamation. He doesn't, like, remember when I read Johnny Depp, if you watched my very first video, in his position, he got the gain card. In Marilyn Manson's position, he's got the failure card. So a couple things this makes me feel. And no matter how this defamation suit goes, now I feel some things can be proven that she falsified that FBI. I do believe he's telling the truth on that. That was her thing. Okay, that appears to be a fact. Because we've got the futility card in her position. The Seven of Swords, which can be the betrayal, the sneakiness, the thievery, okay, doing things with evidence. Okay, so I do believe she's done that. And that's a fact check. I'm there. And so, but I also believe that the failure card could say a lot of things with Marilyn Manson that I can unpack. One, recovering his career may not be able to be done. Okay, you know, like I said, his label has dropped him. I think I've seen when I looked up his net worth, he was at 25 million. Some people are saying he might be there or he's at 10. I'm probably going to feel he's around 10 or 15. He's lost money. Okay, he's definitely lost money and jobs. So there's some stuff there. So like I said in the first video, remember when I did Johnny Depp, the gain. That's a totally different card. Okay, one thing, gain reputation, gets his money rolling again, but it's so much bigger to gain his reputation. In this failure, that to be able to kind of get his reputation back, I feel this is going to follow him for a long time. It's not going to be like the Johnny Depp trial at all. There's going to be people who do not believe him. Okay, and maybe it does come with the territory because of who he is and the way he kind of dresses up. But the Lovers will go there. They're going to go to war and everything. Secrets will come out though. Secrets will come out that we can look at that. Now, let me see and I'm going to grab Baby Thought. Spirit wants me to grab Baby Thought to kind of assess. Let me just, if I could get anything. But, you know, some things will be finalized on it. But it's a tough one. But, you know, so far, I haven't seen the abuse yet. I'm just saying. So I can't say it's happened. Just saying. Okay, I'm not there yet, but I'm not done. But looks like some things of the truth would come out. But like I said, it's not going to be so simple. You know, Johnny Depp, it came out. But with him, you know, truth come out, but people will still be naysayers and not believe him. Okay, and that's what, it's not going to be a bounce back like Johnny Depp had. Okay, but yes, I do definitely believe there is some dishonesty, especially with that FBI letter. I'm on board. I'm on board. Okay. But yeah, with the Hangman, this may, the Hangman could also indicate, this could take a little bit before it goes to court. I don't know, maybe a year, 2 years or so, you know, and everything. So let's kind of go ahead and see. Hard to say. Okay, so I'm going to ask a few little questions of the Spirit. Okay. Okay, so a few things here. All right, so we focus on the defamation. One of these, let's look at, Evan, what about the abuse? These horrible things like in this documentary happen. That's what I'm going to look at. Okay, so I put the Ten of Swords right on top of the Ten of Swords card. Just like that. See that? The baby card? Right on top of it. Okay, so a lot of this, one of the things, remember what I said, I feel Manson feeling stabbed in the back. Okay, and then that card, okay. They may have stabbed each other in the back a little bit, but let's kind of go ahead and look. I do got that wealth card popping up next to it. Okay, so is there a possibility or something, maybe a class action lawsuit? For example, one of the reasons, why am I gathering all these women? Okay, but at the same time, she doesn't make me feel necessarily money motivated, but you never know. You never know. It does seem it feels something in the works, right? And so it definitely, we're making money, one of the things, definitely making money, even the documentary and stuff. I do have the Queen of Discs, though, definitely kind of coming in there, that kind of energy. So, yeah, there could be a little bit, definitely she's been working hard at this. And we got that completion, though. There it is, completion sitting next to the completion card. The office being really bizarre. There's completion right on top of that. So no matter what, some things will get finalized. There is a card sticking up. This will be the final Rachel card, except strife card. She's ready to go to battle. So definitely, a few things here. She definitely feels hurt about some things that have happened to her. Let's put it that way. He feels stabbed in the back, but I definitely feel she does feel hurt about things that she wants to come out. So I do feel there's something there. There's some things that happened. Okay. With that said, and the strife card also, the Five of Wands can be even physical abuse. I don't necessarily have a essay card, so it sometimes that's kind of hard to, but it definitely, definitely want to kind of stab in the back and kind of want to ruin him for something. It's crazy, the ruin card laid right on the ruin card. You saw that. That's, what are the odds? I got 78 cards here, 78 cards here. What are the odds? But the completion card lays on the completion card. What are the odds, guys? This is why I like tarot. What are the odds? Okay, so let's look at Marilyn Manson. Let's see what's going on with him. Yep, everything is a hangman, stuck, suspended. So, yep, as I'm kind of tuned in, right now the case, really his career is on hold. Everything, he feels really kind of stuck, trapped, putting a rock in a hard place, to the point, yeah, he's got to defend himself. And he knows, he's kind of created a certain kind of facade character that, very different than Johnny Depp. So people, may have a hard time believing it, and there it is, Prince of Discs again, okay? Remember, Capricorn, right? There's this card. And the Prince of Discs can have, like I said, a little bit of a temper and everything. And, it has, the Prince of Discs can have a dark side. According to Thoth, completion card pops up again. No matter what, this is gonna wrap up. That completion card, and that is actually Venus in Aries. So a lot of this, just to wrap it up and everything, it needs to come to an end, no matter what. I said, well, we got that Queen of Swords energy. Really, I feel kind of like that warrior woman coming for him, and everything. Let's kind of look there. And he's ready to stand up for himself with the Seven of Wands. This is a tricky thing here. Whew. God, it's heavy. It's crazy how the same cards. See, that's why sometimes I like to grab Baby Thoth. The magic of tarot is insane. So far, I definitely feel, looking at this, there's, in tuning into the spirit, I definitely feel there are some things that happened to her, okay, that they're both troubled souls, okay, and I do feel some things happened to her, okay, I do, but, there might be, how do I put it this way, maybe little bits of exaggerations, kind of coming in there, some things may be blurted out, same with that Nine of Swords energy, and the sketchiness. Let's put it this way, I guess. Let me just bear with me here as I sort this, because then I'm just going to kind of sort this, what Spirit is kind of showing and throwing down. But like I said, recovering his, the career and everything. It's not. He'll always have supporters, but it's going to dwindle. It's dwindling. Okay, definitely. It's not going to be like Johnny Depp. It not even close. I feel that with this situation, definitely, she's definitely wants, him kind of outed to ruin the career. The ruin card, you saw it, lay it right on there. This makes you feel this is what she wants to do. She wants him outed, ruined, whatever. Okay, and so this is definitely, an attack on him. with the with, as far as the certain things with abuse, I'm definitely feeling there's definitely some troubled things that maybe, remember, they both did drugs, they both did things, maybe some things happened there. Okay, but I don't get a narcissism, but I get very troubled too. Very, he's an emotional being. If anything, it's not a matter of narcissism. He's a very sensitive, emotional being underneath all this. Believe it or not, I know it's hard to believe sometimes, but that's what I'm getting, guys. And so, but I do feel definitely has some kind of, a little bit of a temper there. Like I said, the Prince of Death, he's Capricorn. And so, as the Capricorn can come across dark to people. Capricorn can be, I understand the sign. And so, but I definitely feel there's a deception on her part. Okay, it's right there when I tune into that energy. She's being deceptive. Okay, she's messing with evidence here. Let's kind of go ahead and look at Kipper, what we got here. Yeah, they're about to go to war. Now, there could potentially, I mean, could they try to bring charges? Maybe. But who gets charged? Who gets charged? I do get the false person card. So this does make me feel that she's being false about some things. Okay? And this does make me feel she's being false. Because one of the things we're trying to kind of look at what is it. She's definitely working hard. I got the toilet labor working hard on doing this. And doing this stuff here. But, she could get in a lot of trouble. That's very interesting. I've got the family room card. Family room edition. I noticed there's women and also kind of the tea. You know what this reminds me of? She's been, what's the name of the women's show? She's been on that show. What is the name of that women's show? Because see how they're kind of, like sitting around in that table of tea. What's the name of that women's show with Whoopi Goldberg? What the heck is that? I don't watch that show, but you know what I'm talking about. My phone might die before I get it. I'm blanking, guys, because I don't watch that show. It's kind of a gossip show. What's the name of that women's show with Whoopi Goldberg? The View. Thank you. My phone died just in time. The View. The family room makes me think of her like going on The View. I believe she has been on there and talked to people or something. I will have to look it up though because my phone just died. But I believe she may have went on there and talked to some people about that and everything. But just kind of getting on there and kind of talking. She's definitely doing a lot of interviews. A lot of sit-down interview, spilling the tea. Spilling the tea. Okay? I think that's why it's coming up. But yeah, there's a pathway. It's creating a pathway. Definitely go to trial. And let's kind of tune in there. Adjudication. Yep, there we go. There we go. Of course, adjudication. This will be heard. And this will be a jury trial. But it's going to take some time. I've got the distance horizon. Okay, this I don't even think they have a date for it yet. I'm not sure. If anybody knows if there is a date, let me know. So I do believe with that false person card popping up in there, I said, I'm not necessarily getting an innocent man. Totally. Okay, there may be some, there may be some abuse, there may be a little something, okay? I'm just saying. I need to look at another angle. I'm not done. I just, once I get started, my feels, I need to look at another angle because there's something else I want to look at, okay? But, and I'm about to ask another question. But just so far looking at this and stuff, I definitely believe he loved her. I do believe it's there, in his whatever way he does. Okay, how he conducts his relationships, it may be a little different or unusual the way he shows love. But as far as like, so far, I do see some sketchiness on her part. The sketchiness is where I'm showing. I want to look at, okay, so one of the things I'm kind of looking at is the accusers. So now I want to kind of look at, what about these other women that are popping up here? But let's see. Yep, okay, so there does, I've got the Ace of Cups in there too, so that kind of makes me feel, yep, he seems to fall in love with people. Okay? And I've got that happiness card, which makes me feel in the beginning of relationships, these women, for the most part, in the beginning are happy. But I've also got that, then I've got that Eight of Swords. So maybe that, they start being trapped and everything. Maybe there's some mental manipulation going on in there, so, some weird stuff and everything. and stuff. And looking at that, but still evidence, the evidence card and everything kind of looking in there. It's going to be a challenge. It's going to be a challenge because I've got that victory card. Some of these women stepping forward and stuff could be victorious. This is what I get with that Ace of Swords is popping up when I'm focusing on the other women. I'm putting Rachel aside for a minute. Some of these other women. Some of the women seem to be telling some things that seem to be, they've got their own bouts that are telling true. So a few things. I do feel there is some, I guess the best way to put it is this, and I try to be very, very sensitive and careful, but I'm a reader. Okay. Some of the women maybe that experience some things, I do believe there's definitely something going on that some women have experienced something from him. Okay. If it's as dramatic, maybe, as being said, that's the only thing I kind of hold in regard. I'm going to keep that in a gray area of uncertainty. I'm not sure. But what I do feel is definitely there is a wanting to ruin, okay, their energy. And I also definitely get that with that Seven of Swords, I do feel deception on Evan, definitely with that FBI thing. And also trying to get into his stuff. Okay, try to get into his stuff to make him look bad and things like that. And now I want to kind of look at just a couple things. So I definitely feel there's some false, it's not all honest here. Okay, and I actually I kind of get a feel both sides are not honest here. Okay, I get a little bit of false from both sides. Okay, this is very, like I said, once I get in the muck, it's like, oh God, this is very different than Johnny Depp and Amber Heard. Okay, and very different. But I do feel he loved her. I mean, it's there. Okay, so this is called the Hidden Truth Oracle. Now this is something I do in my relationship reads when I want to kind of tune in to what's going on in the other person's mind. A little bit of weird stuff. I'm tuning into kind of Marilyn Manson, how he kind of feels about her. Okay, so I've also got the card Finding Out the Truth Crushed Me. Okay, so this kind of makes me feel some of this stuff coming out. He feels crushed. Okay, with some of what she doing, the deception, the very thing. So this makes me feel he's actually a pretty hurt type of person. As I also get the card, I know I was a distraction from your pain. This is interesting. So this kind of makes me feel that, remember what I was kind of talking about in the beginning, a little bit of rebellious, kind of, the bad boy. There was something going on. She was already had her own troubles. Remember, wounded people, karmic relationships. Okay, so something even with being with Marilyn Manson, kind of going into this whole wild world was a distraction from something deeper with her. Also, I've got the card, though, I feel you leaving me behind. So this makes me feel some of the energy when she started to get away. Okay, when she started to gravitate away, he definitely felt pain. Okay, and stuff. And then I've also got the card, I wonder if you're happy without me. Well, she probably is. Okay, so this definitely makes me feel some of his kind of feels and emotions on this situation. I definitely feel actually some hurt and definitely feeling betrayed. Like I said, stabbed in the back from this situation. This is not a clear cut, just an abusive type of case. But I do feel there's probably some kind of weird lashing out, kind of strange things. He's got his disturbances. Let's put it that way. I do feel this is somebody who has disturbances, but I do feel this is somebody who loved her. Okay, if I just have to assess in my own spiritual situation, and stuff, and unfortunately hurt people, they do crazy things and stuff. So I do feel definitely there's some stuff there. Just like I said, when I feel when she started to pull away, he had a real problem with it. Okay, and stuff. But then also when she kind of came out and she started doing these things, saying these things, he felt crushed. He actually I feel he actually feels hurt from it. And stuff, he actually feels hurt. Maybe there's some anger, but I feel more hurt than anger actually coming out of this kind of energy when I'm tuned in. So it's a very interesting thing. So I do wonder, are we maybe there's a core of truth, okay? Because I feel there's the Ace of Swords is there, but is there maybe some exaggeration, or maybe not even exaggeration, but as there was a lot of drug use and which they both admittedly did. She's admitted to it. Could there have been some things maybe she's confused on? Maybe. Possibly. It's a very convoluted, and there's probably, I might have to do another reading to sort it through. It's a lot of heavy energy. But so far, yes, I do feel, but one of the things definitely, I feel it will come out. I feel they'll be able to prove that this whole FBI thing is falsified. And some of, the hacking things and stuff like that. As far as the abuse area, those other women may make it challenging that for him to win a full defamation, if they listen to him, which they may not even listen. But I do feel them later coming after him for something. They're building something up for this. Okay, just saying. Okay. That I do feel something coming. Maybe there may be some lawsuits. I know they've already kind of thrown some out, like sexual allegations, like maybe there wasn't enough evidence and things. But and I know one of the things she even spoke to Congress is extending what do you call it? Oh my God. Sorry, the heat is starting to heat up. Oh, statute of limitations, trying to expand it for things like that. But yeah, some secrets are going to come out in looking at that outcome and everything. Definitely they're going to go to battle and there's, with the government and everything, with the emperor, and it's just all going to come down to the levers and everything. This is a challenge. This is a challenge. So this is very interesting. So remember what was my very first thing I even looked at was just a little bit even what Rose McGowan said. She didn't experience the things that Evan is saying. But that, just because, and I do want to be very careful, just because one woman doesn't experience something doesn't mean another won't. That's another thing. We have to always be careful of that. But of course, like say with Amber Heard, when nobody experienced, and they actually had really kind things to say about Johnny Depp, when nobody, and still nobody's, stepped forward saying Johnny Depp did this, that. Nobody but Amber. Okay, it's a whole different thing. But this is a challenge. So maybe, if you want, check out the documentary. But check out Colonel Kurtz. They've got some interesting stuff that they're saying on their YouTube. Kind of looking at it. I just looked at a few little things, here and there, just to try to get a feel for both sides. But so far, I mean, just, in there, I'm not seeing all this, the massive abuse cards, are not coming up for me, necessarily, anger, aggression, and everything. I'm sure they had some scuffles and things, but I just, those cards aren't necessarily showing, so it's real inconclusive for me, but I do feel there's probably some things, but I'm wondering if some liberties have been taken or said or exaggerations. And like I said, I try to be careful, any woman who says something happened, especially when more than one does. I try to be very careful. But like I said, I want to keep that. It's a very gray area for me to touch on. But I do definitely feel some sketchiness in the certain things and the way things are being handled. Okay? That are also, I mean, there is definitely looking to hurt him. I will definitely say that in the industry and stuff, and everything. So we're going to kind of see it all unravel. I will look at it again, probably whenever this case comes out, before that. I will definitely look into the case and check it out. But like I said, I'm not getting a narcissist. Not at all. If anything, there may be some emotional disturbance. Yes, there could be, but I actually feel this person loved her. Which in his own way, however that works out. And stuff. There's some definite things there. So I just, but it's very and also with her getting the Seven of Swords in her position, okay, is very, that's normally the betrayer. I do have to say that is normally the betrayer, the one who could be sneaking things, doing evidence and stuff like that. So that, and also I do get the false person. So that does make me feel, at least from what I'm getting here, she's not being 100% honest in the situation. That I can give you. And maybe, after things unfold, we'll be able to see a little bit more. But unfortunately, no matter what push comes to shove, the way this all goes down, I don't see him really being able to recover too much. Not like Johnny Depp did. I hope you enjoyed my read.